Another topic I'm curious, from Locked On Browns, is Jimmy Haslam misunderstood?
So the Jimmy Haslam conversation is always such a loaded one, and there's so many different angles to this, right? Like I get where the results speak for themselves, right? Like the people are gonna rip on him for the Johnny Manziel thing years ago. People are he's gonna have to wear the Deshaun Watson decision for years to come, and that's gonna go down as the worst trade in NFL history until the next worst trade in NFL history. And then I understand why those complicate these things because it looks like an owner who's botched more things than he's done right. But my argument was that like there was an athletic article that was put out that was basically like it was titled something along the lines of like how much does each NFL owner want to win? And then they kind of ranked the teams based on that. And it felt more like it was just like a ranking of the teams draped in, how do we feel about the owners? And like the paragraph on the Browns like cited the Deshaun Watson decision. And my biggest thing is this: like, can we can anybody can rip that trade up and down for years to come and say they should have never done it. And I'll never dispute that. Like, they probably shouldn't have done it in the grand scheme of things. But if the idea of this article was to sort of figure out like which owners are committed to winning, I think the Deshaun Watson thing speaks more to an owner who wants to win than doesn't. Like the willingness to go make that trade, that blockbuster deal, spoke to a team that was like, "Hey, we need a quarterback. We got to get this thing figured out. Let's go get this guy that at one point was top 5 in the league." Even though there was a lot of risk involved with it, and it clearly backfired, it wasn't the right decision. But if you're trying to tell me like or talk to me about owners who want to win, I think the Haslams have shown in recent years that they are willing to do whatever it takes to try to make that happen. Whether it's giving up a bunch of draft capital to get a quarterback that they think is going to be it, or whether it's being willing to commit $230 million fully guaranteed to a player with those controversies because you want to get the deal done and push it across the finish line. So, and I think even something like the stadium conversation speaks to that, right? Like, I know that's a very controversial topic right now, but their willingness as owners to keep the team in town, their willingness to invest in something that they think is great for Northeast Ohio, like I think all those things speak to an owner who's taken this seriously at this point, and also the fact that Kevin Stefanski and Andy Bear are still here because they could have been fired at the end of last season. But Jimmy Haslam told everybody he could last year, like they're not going anywhere. We trust these guys, and then that bared itself out in the offseason where they kept him and they're standing by them. And I think he has learned to trust the people he's put into power now. So, listen, I it's a complicated subject, and I get that like Jimmy Haslam doesn't need people to defend him. He's had plenty of things that they've messed up as owners as owners of this team. But I do think recent history suggests like he's learned a lot, and that even though they took the big swing on Deshaun, that was in the grand scheme of things, that was a move directed towards let's go win, let's go try to get better and figure out this position that's eluded us for decades. And I can't blame the Browns or Jimmy Haslam in this ownership group for that at least, even if it was the wrong decision. Looking back on it, hindsight being 2020.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. And I got to run, but here's the other thing. If you look at real dollars spent year to year, he spends $90 to $100 million more because all of those renegotiations.
Yeah.
He's willing to write the check. So he does want to win, and he has had some questionable decisions. Hasn't figured out how to win yet, but I don't question his desire. Everything that he does is to try to win a Super Bowl. I truly believe that.